Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all doing really well. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a review for you guys, and this is actually my second time filming this review. The first time that I filmed it, all of the footage was completely out of focus, so of course I could not put that kind of video up for you guys. So I went ahead and decided to refilm it for you guys today because I figured that a lot of you guys are probably interested in this cute little palette right here, and I have filmed a couple of makeup tutorials with it that are already up on my channel. I will link them for you down below, but I wanted to go ahead and get on here and also film a review just telling you a little bit about my thoughts about the product, the cost of the product, what it claims to do, and just my overall opinion about it, whether or not it's worth the money. So this video, of course, is going to be another video in my goodbye or goodbye series. And if you're not familiar with that series, it's basically a series where I get on here and do reviews of different products that are new to the beauty community for you guys and tell you whether it was a good buy and it gets a thumbs up from me, or whether it's a product that you should just say deuces, goodbye to, and give it a thumbs down. So if you enjoyed this video, or if you enjoy reviews in general and would like for me to continue to do them, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, and if you would like to hear my opinion and a little review about the new Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons eyeshadow palette, then please keep watching. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into this review, starting, of course, first with packaging, because that is the first thing that we see, and a lot of us are suckers for packaging and buy tons of things we don't need because the packaging is cute. So I will insert a close-up for you guys just so that you can see the box that it comes in and a close-up of the packaging, of course, but this is what the product looks like. It's super cute. It comes in a brown box, very similar to the original and the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. This is the third chocolate bar palette in the series from Too Faced, and this one is a nice pastel pink. And then when you open it up and you look at the inside of the palette, all of the eyeshadows are shaped like hearts, and of course it smells like chocolate, which, if not for anything else, Too Faced gets me every time I'm purchasing their products because they smell like chocolate. I mean, what girl doesn't want makeup and for it to smell like chocolate? I mean, it's perfection. But like I was saying, this is the inside of the product. Super cute. All of the colors are gorgeous, very wearable, everyday shades, and I definitely think I like this one better than the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. I don't know if anything compares to the original. I just always feel like when an original of something comes out, it's hard to beat the original, but I definitely love this one packaging-wise, color-wise, and all that good stuff way more than the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. And if you're following me on Instagram, you would have seen I did post a comparison photo of these. If you aren't following me, I will leave the link to my Instagram down below. But I did post a comparison just so that you could see the different shades and how they compare to each other to kind of give you an idea of what they look like side by side. So let's go ahead and get into the details. I want to share a little bit with you about what Too Faced actually has listed as the description for this product. First thing, it is $49, which is kind of right on par with the other previous Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. So, you know, $50-ish to purchase the product. I did purchase mine from Ulta. And then on their website, on the Ulta website, what they have listed for the details, it says, discover a candy-coated confection of heart-shaped delights with 16 matte and shimmer shades and cool pops of color, sugary brights, and beautiful go-to neutrals, all infused with Too Faced chocolate-scented, antioxidant-rich cocoa powder formula. Chocolate Bonbons is the third palette in their best-selling chocolate bar eyeshadow collection, and some might say the cutest, which I do agree with that. They've included their signature glamour guide with 3 beauty looks to get you started, but don't stop there, the looks are limitless. And if you've ever purchased an eyeshadow palette from Too Faced, you know that they always include that little pamphlet that has like 3 or 4 eyeshadow looks, like they said, to get you started or give you inspiration on different ways that you can use the eyeshadow palette. But of course, you don't have to stick to those. They're just there to kind of give you a guide on different eyeshadow looks that you can do with the palette. So I think the main things that really stick out from the description are that there are 16 shades. They are matte and shimmer shades. It smells like chocolate, obviously, and the packaging is super cute. So next up, I want to go ahead and show you guys a couple of swatches of all of the shadows that come in this eyeshadow palette, which honestly, for me, is the most exciting because if you have a skin tone similar to mine, this is going to be great so that you can see what the shadows actually look like on a deeper skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and do the swatches in the order that they are in the palette, so from top to bottom and from left to right. So let's go ahead and get started. The first shadow in this palette is the shade Almond Truffle, and they describe this shadow as a matte mauve, which I definitely agree with. It is kind of like a more subtle, muted mauve shade, but it would make a gorgeous transition color. The next one is one of the larger rectangular shadows in the palette. This one is in the color Satin Sheets, and this one is described as a golden pink. This is a shadow that has a really beautiful iridescence to it and could be used as a beautiful all over the lid shade or a highlight shade on the tops of the cheekbones or on the inner corner. The next shadow is the shade Sprinkles. This one is described as a gilded rose. I basically kind of look at this one as like a muted kind of pastel pink shade. It's very similar to the color of the packaging of the actual eyeshadow palette. Not really sure how I would wear this personally on my skin tone, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful color. So next up, we have the shade Molasses Kiss. This one is described as a metallic cocoa bronze, and this color is right up my alley. It's a beautiful bronze shimmer shade that looks stunning all over the entire lid and is definitely a shade that I personally gravitate towards and would be perfect for an everyday look or could be smoked out for a nighttime look as well. So next up, we have another matte shade. This one is in the shade Malted, and they describe this one as a gilded cocoa. It's basically a matte chocolate brown, but it's kind of like a, not a super dark brown, probably right in between like a medium and a dark brown. So moving on to the second row, the first shade that we have is the shade Cashew Chew. This one is described as a satin nude, and it is a satin shadow. It's not a matte, it's not a shimmer, it's like right there in between. So it could be used as an all over lid shade. It could be used to set your eyeshadow base. It could be used in the crease if you are more of a fair skin tone. But again, it is a satin shade, very beautiful also. So next up, we have one of the pinks in this palette. This palette, of course, would not be complete without some gorgeous pinks. And this one is in the shade Cotton Candy. They describe this shade as an iced bubblegum pink, which I don't have anything to add to that. It is exactly that, an iced bubblegum pink. Really, really gorgeous shimmer shade in this palette. Would look beautiful, again, all over the lid. So next up, we have Cafe Au Lait, and this shadow I am obsessed with. They describe this one as a metallic taupe. Again, perfect description. And this one is really, really beautiful in my opinion. If you have a skin tone that's similar to mine, or even if you don't, I think that this color would look beautiful, again, all over the entire lid. And it's right in that same color, like palette, or that same color scheme of those bronzy shades that I really love for all over the lid. So another really gorgeous shade that I absolutely love in this palette. Next up, we have the shade Bordeaux. This one is described as a matte plum brown. Another really gorgeous shade for the crease or for deepening up the crease, or also for helping to smoke out that outer V, or especially smoking out the lower lash line. I think that this shade would be perfect for that. And it really reminds me kind of like a brick brownish shade, if that makes sense. It's really, really beautiful, very pigmented, definitely one of my favorite shades in this palette for the matte shades. So moving on to another matte shade, this one is the shade Mocha, and it's described as a matte suede. It's basically a medium brown. So again, another great shade for a transition in the crease, for helping to blend out the shadows in the crease for a nice gradient transition. Just a very necessary matte transition shade that I feel like all palettes really need. So another shade that I also really love and could definitely see myself getting a ton of use out of. So next up, we have a purple. This one is in the shade Black Currant, and they describe this one as a deep metallic amethyst, which is a perfect description. It does have a few flecks of like glitter not glitter. It's a shimmer shadow, but it kind of has like some pink iridescence to it, if that makes sense. It's a really beautiful shade. It would be perfect for like a purple smoky eye, or again for deepening up the outer V. A lot of these shades in this palette are very versatile. They could be used in a ton of different ways, and this purple is definitely one of those shades. So moving on to the third row, the first shade that we have is the shade Dark Truffle. This one is described as a cherry cola shimmer, and it's basically a dark brown shimmer shade. And I think cherry cola is a good description of it. It's not really burgundy. It's like a nice mix of a brownish burgundy, but it definitely leans more to the chocolate brown side of it. Really gorgeous shimmer shadow. Next to that, we have Pecan Praline, and this is another matte shade, and it is described as a cool grayish. Now, I'm not really sure what they mean by cool grayish, but it kind of reminds me of like a medium beigeish brown that's kind of taupey, kind of. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful matte shade that again would be great as a transition shade in your crease, and would probably work really great if you have more of a fair skin tone as a transition color. So definitely another necessary matte in this palette. Next to that, we have the shade Totally Fetch, which is described as an electric fuchsia pearl. And fuchsia is exactly what this color is. It's a very beautiful fuchsia pink shade. And with this being what is, in my opinion, an eyeshadow palette that is very much inspired or perfect for Valentine's Day, I do think that a shade like this is very necessary, so that if you want to create a more pink eyeshadow look, you have that pink shade there. So another very beautiful color in this palette. Next up, we have the color Earl Grey. This one is described as a smoky sapphire, and this is actually the color that I used all over my entire lid in the Too Faced eyeshadow collaboration video that I did recently. So if you haven't checked that out, I will link it for you just so that you can see that color in action. But it is a very beautiful kind of deep turquoise shimmer shadow. Stunning color. I absolutely love it. It is one of the colors that I was the most drawn to when I opened this palette, and the first color that I used and wanted to do a makeup tutorial with when I filmed initially with this palette. So another shade that I really love. And then last but not least, we have the color Divinity. And this one is described as a matte warm cream. And this is just a perfect shade, again, for setting your eyeshadow base, for an all over lid shade, and also for highlighting underneath your brow bone. It's just a necessary beige matte shade that, again, I feel like all palettes really need to have, because it's such a versatile color that can be used, again, all over the lid, and is also perfect for highlighting the brow bone. Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed those swatches, and if you can't tell by now, I'm absolutely in love with this eyeshadow palette. Too Faced, to me, in my opinion, can really do no wrong. I don't think I've come across a product yet that Too Faced has released that I haven't liked, and I'm always in love with their eyeshadow palettes. The quality of the shadows are always amazing. They blend out effortlessly, and they're just really beautiful colors and just shadows, and the pigmentation. Everything is just on point. The packaging is super cute. It smells like chocolate. You just can't go wrong. So I definitely think that this is a good buy. It gets 2 thumbs up from me. And I know that it's a little bit on the pricier side at $49, but I think for 16 shadows, it's definitely worth it. I think if you're going to spend a little bit more on a high-end product, to me, eyeshadow palettes and foundations are like at the top of the list. So yeah, I could go on and on and on about this eyeshadow palette, obviously, because I love it, but I'll go ahead and end this review here. If there are any things that I left out or forgot, I will definitely leave those in the description bar down below, and I will also link the palette for you guys, so if you're interested in checking it out or purchasing it, I'll leave a link right down below to make it super easy for you to check it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope that you did find this review helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe on your way out so that you can stay up to date on all of my future videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Bye.